give it about a 7.5. I think it's good. I think it's entertaining. I was just a little disappointed. I was expecting like a 9 from the way it had been talked about.
Yeah. We're about to get into spoilers.
I'd be into watching the original.
Yeah.
Spoiler time.
Spoiler time. All right. There's no real difference between this and the It movie. There are a few differences between this and the original 1990 It movie. I'm trying to think of something to spoil. Like, if you've seen the original 1990 movie, there's really nothing, there's not much to spoil here. Like, it's pretty much the same.
Dude, before I watched this, I didn't even know he wasn't a clown. I didn't know he was a horrible Cthulhu space beast.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah, that's a spoiler.
Kind of.
The original.
I mean, they established pretty early on he's not just a clown, I guess, but it's way later that you kind of find out a little more about him.
Yeah.
Because in the book, it's alluded to he's some crazy interdimensional beast or something.
Yeah, it's in the book, and in the second half they allude to it, but I don't want to spoil that for you yet because you haven't seen his true form yet. But yeah, it's like, I feel like the original, like people, like I've been comparing the two a lot after we saw it, and there's like a lot of comparison videos online and people kind of weighing in on which one's better. Most people saying they like this one better, and I kind of feel distant from that because I think that the original, while there are definitely elements in this new one that are better, that, like, to me the kids are better in this one, except for like except for the main kid in the original Bill. I think he actually does great. Yeah, he does great, and I think the other kids are good. Like they're decent, but they're just, I don't know. There's something about this one just feels more relatable. I think some people make a good point about like the Richie kid seems like he doesn't belong in the 80s. Like he's just too a little self-aware and too.
Yeah, he's the embodiment of the internet.
Yeah, he's like he's like really crass. But when I was growing up, I had crass kids too that were like that too.
So I feel like if I rewatched it, I would appreciate Richie more because I feel like he was kind of taking me out of it.
He reminded me of Jeff. I don't know why. I don't know why. There was something about it. I know he doesn't look like Jeff. He doesn't really act like Jeff. There was just something I was like.
Sleep paralysis is something that affects each and every one of us. I just got a terrible fear of chimpanzees.
I'm getting a Jeff vibe from here. I don't know why.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I
think I would appreciate the humor of Richie if I watched it again, kind of knowing what I'm getting into now. I wasn't expecting that out of like any of the kids or anything. He's also the kid from Stranger Things, so that's something.
Yeah. I didn't think I knew that until maybe halfway through. I was like, what? Is that kid? But yeah, the original
Stranger Things season 2.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. The original 1990 movie, Pennywise, he was just creepier. I don't know what else to say. He just felt creepier to me. Like I was saying, I was comparing him, and like the side by side, there is definitely cheaper quality to the original for sure.
It's older and
it's older and it's a TV movie, but I think that kind of adds to it. There's something kind of like, because it's kind of that cheap quality.
All right, James Roth.
There's something about the cheap quality to it that just makes it feel a little unsettling. Like I don't know how to describe it. The music is also kind of like really obviously like a clown song, like it's just something. It doesn't do that actually. It would have been hilarious if it did. Tim Curry is actually really, really funny in the original. He's actually
I like to see how everybody likes this dude from Home Alone so much.
That's what you know from
Butler.
Home Alone. The Butler from Home Alone.
Home Alone 2.
Or Nigel from
the
Baltimore
most
Bears.
successful Home Alone.
But yeah, he's like, because he is just so natural as a clown, you believe him as a clown. You believe that he's not really a clown, like we said before. He's something else, which in a lot of ways people said this movie does that better because this one he is more like the clown representation is just like a facade over something much more sinister underneath. And I do think that I like that.
Like his lack of understanding what's around him and trying to just kind of like mimic fairly well, but also poorly in some aspects the world around him for what kids might like. I was
just watching Jenny Nicholson's video. I think, Jenny Nicholson's video about it, and she was talking about how does he know all this pop culture to know how to scare them and stuff and I guess in this one he kind of sees I guess he can just see that something scares the kid, like the painting or whatever. But in the original, there's like things
it's always there.
Yeah,
whether you see it or not.
But yeah, he does seem more like a creature in this one, and I kind of respect that approach a lot. So I do like this Pennywise overall, and I think he does. I think that Bill Skarsgård does a good job. To me, he just felt a little too. I don't know. I felt like I don't know how to describe it. He felt like he was trying really, really hard to be really weird and off, and I guess that's what fits with the character. So I appreciate that approach, but there was just something. He's too cute. I don't know. He's not creepy in any way.
Rat teeth and his bulbous head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm about.
You want him to just rub that head in oil and rub it all over your body.
I'm getting sick on my stomach. But yeah,
Seinfeld.
Tim Curry.
Kind of.
Tim Curry, like I said before, though, he's just way creepier. I don't know. Like as a horror movie, I feel like the original TV movie works better for me personally. But this one might be a better movie overall because of the presentation and the cinematography and the just the entertainment value is really high. So I kind of feel mixed right now. Overall.
I think like I said, I enjoyed it. I think it's good. We have some differing reasons, I think, for why we like it so much. Mm-hmm. I kind of explained why I was disappointed a little bit. It's possible in retrospect that the more I think about it, I could move it up, or it could go down, but I don't think so. Maybe up just a little bit if I rewatched it, kind of knowing a little more what I'm getting into. Yeah. The question is, should I watch the original? I should definitely watch the first half, but should I watch the whole thing?
I think so. A lot of people give the original 1990 movie shit for the second half not being as good as the first. Mm-hmm. But I actually like that part of it because it shows them growing up having to deal with this old horror that they used to have to deal with in a very like adult way. Like they're just like, we're gonna deal with this again. That's really intriguing. It comes back to them, and they really don't know how to deal with it. It's still creeping them out. They're still just like, they're more prepared for it now, obviously, because they conquered it as children. But it affects. I don't want to spoil it, but it does affect them in very serious ways. And
I'm way more interested in that.
Yeah, like in a way, I guess you could say the original is more whole. It's more complete as a movie because this one does feel like it's cut in half. And and this is a complaint for the 2017 movie is that at the very, very end, Big Kid, he kisses Bev or whatever, and it's like he was the one who did the poetry or whatever, and it wasn't Bill. And then at the end, it's just like, they had that moment, but then he just kind of disappears, like he just kind of goes away, and then she she's like, she likes Bill.
Yeah, she kisses Bill,
which makes sense. All that makes sense. That makes sense with their characters and everything. But the other kid just kind of walks away, and I don't know. It just felt like that they didn't really. There's something about that, like they didn't like really convey that or like lead that was going to be like a thing later on in the next movie.
See, like
because whenever Bev and Bill kiss, they're just like, oh, that's it. They're together. This is it. And it's just like they kind of forget the other kid. Like I thought for sure they were going to cut to the other kid like looking at them in the woods, just like the tear rolling down his eye, or just something like indicating that he's interested too. That this is going to be a thing in the next movie, and it is, and like. In the greater scheme of things, both Bill and John Ritter, because that's who plays him in the next movie, both vie for Bev. So, but they just kind of dropped that for some reason. That kind of felt weird to me. Okay. But yeah, what were we talking about? Should you watch the original? Yeah. I think so because, like I said, I think it's creepier, and I do think it feels like a more complete story. Tim Curry is both at times creepy and charming. The production value is much cheaper. If that bothers you, I can understand being like, oh well, whatever. But I think it adds to it. So
it doesn't really bother me. I am a fan of high production, but it doesn't bother me because I can appreciate what was done with the time.
Its time. Oh, I just want to say this: the framing in the original It is so good. Like the way that whenever It comes on, whenever he's there, when Pennywise is there, the frame is always super centered. Right on him, and it makes it kind of like a dreamlike quality because it doesn't feel like a lot of the times films are kind of always a little angled on stuff, so it doesn't. From here, it just feels like you're looking straight at him and you're just watching him kind of talk to you, and it feels unsettling. I think for that reason, and it happens multiple times throughout it. I love that. Anyway, the last score I gave like on IMDb for the original, it was like 9 because I just remember thinking like this is a very creepy movie, especially for like a TV movie, and I really, really enjoyed it. So overall, I'm still leaning towards 1991 being better overall, but I can see why people like the new one too. But anyway, that's it. We talked about it for a very, very long time, probably way too long. I'll have to cut this down, but thought you could join me. I thought you could join in there. You're just like, no.